Hi Aries, it's Jen here. I went ahead and pulled your cards already. I know it's not the usual way I pull cards, but I'm realizing that I just work better that way because I'm more of a channeler. I can channel things when I have time to kind of meditate on them, and the messages just come in so much clearer. So um, that's just my style. I just work so much better that way. I will pull clarifiers along the reading, but just so far I've done two readings this way. I used to do them like that in the beginning, and then I wanted to kind of shuffle on camera, but this way kind of just works a whole lot better for me. I can channel a whole lot clearer, and the messages just come boom 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 rather than just being on camera and shuffling. It's too many distractions. So what I got for you, Aries, you have the Five of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. The messages that I got from Spirit was really a feeling of grief, obviously, with the Five of Cups, but it was either something you were working on or literal work. For some of you, this can be retirement. This can be, it's just, it gave me the overall feeling that you worked hard on something, and even though you didn't want to let it go, you had to let it go. And it's just a feeling of mourning. It's almost a feeling of bittersweet. But I do see here that whatever this was, either you put a lot of time into it, it could have been years, a lot of effort, just a lot of emotion into this. Again, it could have been a job or it could have been a relationship. Take it as it resonates. But yeah, it's just something that you really put a lot of energy into, and having to either walk away from that or knowing that it didn't succeed, it's bringing a lot of feelings of grief and mourning. But the thing about the Five of Cups, it's mourning, but it's also a reminder to notice what remains. Because he's looking at the Three of Cups, but there's still two there. And it's almost like, yeah, this didn't work, but you still have this. Yeah, you put a lot of work into this, but you still have this. So I don't know, for some, I'm really giving either, again, retirement, or you're moving away from something that you once worked really hard on. And it's almost like that feeling of loss. Now, in the current energy, you have Eight of Wands and 10 of Wands in reverse. So this just lets me know that there is something coming in really fast. It can be news. It can be, just the energy that it's just happening very fast here. For some of you, this could even be like a furlough. If some of you just lost your job abruptly, I'm seeing that as well. It's like something you were in for a long time. The Eight of Pentacles, that eight, that means he's come a long way and he's mastered that. Whatever this was, you were a master at it. You could have been, again, if it was a job, you could have been someone who's been there for years. But I do get a sense that either some news came in, but with the 10 of Wands, it's almost like a burden is lifted up, and maybe you don't even realize that. Maybe you've been working for a company or working at something that really was taking a lot of your energy, and it's actually a blessing in disguise with that 10 of Wands in reverse. It's like a burden being lifted off, whereas you had to ask for help or ask for assistance, or it was really tugging and draining at your energy. Now that you don't have it, even though it's a sense of grief, you're almost, either you should be glad that it happened, or you will be glad in the long run that, it's like, oh, that weight is lifted off. What's coming towards you is the Three of Pentacles, which is, I do get a feeling like you will dabble in something else. Either you're going to teach or something's going to be taught to you. This is the card of apprenticeship that, he's showing these other two individuals something. So either you will teach, or you will show, or you will kind of take your skills somewhere else in another location, or with someone else in a different environment. But one thing I will say here, Aries, is that I see that your heart's not going to be lit in it, because you got the Lovers in reverse. And this just lets me know that whatever harmony you're seeking, whatever choices you're trying to make, it's almost like it's not there. You may do it because you're a master at it, you're good at it, but it's not what you're used to doing. Some of you could have been demoted or furloughed or just retired or moving to a different company, a different district, a different person, a different apartment. It's definitely something that you worked really hard on and you have to give it up. And even though this is something that burdened you, it's still something that you feel grief about. And like I said, I do see you moving on towards, it's almost like not that you're stepping down and not that you're starting from scratch, because I don't see the Ace of Pentacles. It's almost like whatever you're moving towards, it is something that you're very skilled at, but again, it's not something that your heart wants. It's not something that that brings you that sense of fulfillment, like whatever this was, this Eight of Pentacles. So let's see, what is Aries mourning? What is this Five of Pentacles? I'm sorry, Five of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. What is it that Aries is mourning over and worked hard for and has to now leave behind? Knight of Cups. Okay, now this is a general reading, but this, again, this could either be one, something that brought you emotional fulfillment. This could have even been I do see here a proposal. Okay, so I just got another message. For some of you, it might have been a marriage proposal or some sort of any type of proposal. Do you want to be my wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend? Do you want to have kids? And you're having to say no and walk away from this, even though you've put so much time and energy into it. It's almost like you were offered something, and it could be from a water sign, but you were offered something from someone maybe, and it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Because if this is what's clarifying what you're walking away from and something you put in a lot of time and effort into, this could be relationships. It could even be friendships, family. It can be a job, something that once brought your heart a lot of, you know, just made you feel very full. And the fact that it's not, you're mourning this, it's almost like now, it could be in reverse too. It could be that whatever this is has let you go or decided that it's no longer working, and you feel like you put in so much time and effort, and it's like, you mean to tell me that all this, all this energy I put is worth nothing? Let me get the energy of the Eight of Wands and the Ten of Wands in reverse. What information is coming in, and what is going to bring Aries a sense of relief, a burden lifted? For some of you, I'm getting another channeled message. This could be a relationship, a toxic relationship that just didn't work, and it had to end a long time ago. And now that it's really ending, either you're walking away or the other person is walking away. It's weighing very heavy on your heart, but you have to realize that you still have things to be grateful for. It's not the end of your life. There's still more things to look around at and be grateful for. What is coming in very fast? And what is Aries putting down? What burden? The Knight of Swords. Okay, so for some of you, you are giving someone a very heavy truth, and you're coming in, I think they're offering you something that feels of value emotionally, but you or someone in your energy or somebody is charging in very quickly with this Knight of Swords energy, air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Because if you look at it, it's almost like they're going against each other. Like, this Knight of Swords is literally charging towards the Knight of Cups. And this is the burden that this is the information or something that's coming in very fast, and that's gonna put your burdens down. So I think for some of you, either you might have said something, communicated something, and that kind of was like the nail in the coffin. Now it could be something that was said to you as well. Take it as it resonates. That one came up. Yeah, clarifying the Three of Pentacles and the Lovers. The Chariot, you're moving forward. Now, again, I do see that whatever this is, it may not bring as much emotional fulfillment or be something that you're good at it. I do see here that you're good at it, but the almost like the fatedness of it is not there. It doesn't feel whole to you. You know, if you think of the Lovers upright, they're two people that are in harmony, they're in sync. And with it being in reverse, yeah, it's something that you're good at. And maybe it's, you know, you being good at maybe being alone, or you being good at picking yourself back up, but it's not an energy that you want to be in. But you will charge forward with the Chariot. You know, the Chariot knows where he's going. He has a clear path. And he's very determined as well. You know, it's about victory and willpower. It actually comes right after the Lovers, you know, right after the Fool's Journey, where he's learning about friendships and unity and, you know, how to interact. He takes that and he charges forward with that. He now has a foundation with the Hierophant on his traditions. He has a foundation on his relationships and even his own moral compass, right? What feels morally right for him. And then he takes that, you know, that information and that foundation that he built, and he charges forward with that. The Chariot is, to me, it's like that child that's finally leaving home. It's like, okay, I got everything I needed from my parents, and now I'm going to use this information that I learned to move forward. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. Even though it's not your ideal circumstance, you are charging forward with a lot of willpower and determination. Spirit, what other messages we have here for Aries? The Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, for some of you, you're leaving the traditional route. You're leaving, you know, or you're going against the status quo, and you're literally you're making your own rules. Okay, it's not really like the Emperor, that kind of authority. That's almost an external. With the Hierophant, I think it's you going against what you've known and making your own traditions and making your own life, and not really adapting to what others want you to do, but really more so adapting to your own beliefs. You know, because the Hierophant, this can be like a reverend in a church or someone giving you advice. But with it being in reverse, Taurus energy, you're almost paving the way for your own stability, and you're doing things your way. You're kind of breaking out of the mold here too. So I don't know why I keep seeing like runaway bride. Like for some of you, maybe your friends, family have an ideal person for you, and you're like, no. Or I also get the feeling that for some of you, this news, whatever this is, you may not want to share it with certain people because they might judge you or might feel, you know, it just seems very personal. And it's not it's almost like as if you shared it, some people may not understand. But what I will tell you, Aries, as your advice, you have strategy and planning here. Okay, your actions have taken you to a new phase in your spiritual evolution. Now is the time to plan and strategize for the highest possible outcome. That's your advice card. And you have one more. You have self-care. Self-care is not being selfish. You're investing in the most precious thing on earth, which is you, Aries. So whatever this is, whatever decision you have to make, whether you have to make it or it's being made for you, Aries, I think that you're going to be, I'm getting, again, I see the word strategy and it's popping up in my head. You're going to be very strategic with this. Very strategic, and that's probably, and I'm looking at the Knight of Swords, and I don't know where I'm getting strategy from him too. To me, strategy is the Seven of Swords, but nonetheless, again, like your advice card says, your actions have taken you to a new phase in your spiritual evolution. And now you have to plan and strategize for the highest possible outcome. And you will push ahead with that Chariot in reverse. And you will push against any traditions, any beliefs that no longer serve you, right? So that's what I have for you, Aries. If any of these messages resonate in any way, shape, or form, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, take care.